Coach, the most glaring thing with the turnovers is one short of the all-time record.
Oh, I don't, quite honest, Brian. I just don't know. It's, we talked about that. I thought we had a really good start. It's probably the best start we've had in all our games, and then just made really poor decisions and just really not making the simple passes, what we spoke about. This is a team that will get in passing lanes. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's really hard to even comment because it's like I have to rewatch why, because I just don't know. And then, fatigue played a part of it, but we got to be smarter than that.
You won your last meeting with them. What do you think was different tonight?
Well, we had a good start. He subbed all these players out and they got really aggressive, and it took us, we just didn't respond. We didn't handle pressure well at all. Obviously, that was very obvious with the turnovers, but some of them were unforced turnovers too. And that's just doing the little things a little bit better. Like I said, Connecticut are a tough team, give them that, but we're a better team than what we showed. But, we've got a lot of work to do.
Sandy, a couple of things. One, just in terms of a bright spot, wondering what you saw out of AD, who didn't have turnovers tonight, and, just how far along do you think they've come?
Yeah, AD took the opportunity and we're aggressive. And that's all I can ask. I think they're making really good progress, and they just have to stay ready, to be quite honest, and take the opportunities when it's presented to them.
And just looking back at last year, your team was 2-3, went to the finals. The team that won the finals started 2-7. Is this just too early to be concerned in a WNBA schedule, even a compressed one like this one?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's early, but there's still concern because there's some things that are just shouldn't happen. That's just having a little bit of poise, and we don't have that at the moment. We're not the quickest team, and the pressure, we're not able to break people down, and that certainly does affect us, and their length bothered us. So a lot of things, but it's early. I've been in this league for a long, long time. I've had many different starts, and it'd probably be nice to have some days off, but get on the practice court just to fix a few things up and go on the road and be better, but be a little bit fresher and be better. Wasn't a lot of words spoken in the meeting because we all need to just think about, what happened and what do we do from here?
Thank you. Hi, Sandy. Brian from the Stanley. With the week off coming up, what do you think what's the message to the team going to be as you guys rest up and get ready to go on the road trip starting in Minnesota?
Rest up. I think that's critical, and it doesn't help when we had so many injuries out and so many players haven't played for so long. So, I take a little bit, that's probably a little mental fatigue, and that's when the mistakes creep in. But we need to work out what's the best way for us to play now that we have got players out, though, but we got players, our main players are here now, and what do we need to do to exploit every different coverage and put players in better positions, and that's on me. So we'll go back to watch the video, and we'll get to work next week. We'll rest them up, and then we'll get to work. And like I say, still it's solution based. You got to work out what's the best thing for us moving forward.
And my second question is, was the backup making her return after playing overseas with the short roster? How did you sort of gauge her performance tonight in her first day back?
Yeah, I mean, look, she was a little bit rusty. She had no trainings. Just threw her back in. We didn't really want to play her too many minutes, but we had to play a little bit more now. So she just looked out a bit of sync with her teammates. I mean, that's to be expected. It's her first game back.
Alexa, what are you on Zoom?
Hi, Sandy. You mentioned that you thought your team didn't have a lot of poise, and I'm curious, how is that something you can go about trying to instill, especially in this week off? And if there's anyone specifically you think you want to look to really carry the torch and demonstrate that poise that the rest of the team can kind of follow?
Look, I think it has to come by committee, to be quite honest. We've got capable players. We don't necessarily have a pure point guard, so we're going to have to rely on the handlers that we do have and put us in right positions there. But I think our biggest thing, teams are being aggressive. We got to move a little bit better. So I think it's all of us being better, myself included. And it really does start with me.
Hi, Sandy. It looked like Lorella got hit in the face late in that game. How is she doing?
Couldn't put her back in, unfortunately. It wouldn't stop bleeding. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see what happened, but she got pretty hit hard on the nose and blood. Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been great to have her out there to take some of the others out, but yeah, she wasn't in real great shape.
And Sabrina attempted just 4 shots tonight and scored just 2 points again, as she did in Chicago in that big loss. How can she maintain her offensive aggressiveness on nights where they are hedging, where it's larger teams that are hedging so hard and are so aggressive with her?
Yeah, look, she's a great player, and some days teams obviously scout. That's what they're gonna. Let's take Sabrina out of the game, and they did that with the physicality and trapping her. And we put her on ball, we put her off ball, and but we can all get better how to exploit that kind of stuff using the pinches. I think she didn't have this pop in her legs, to be quite honest, to be able to get the separation to get a shot off, and a few days off. Well, I think that will certainly help her.
Coach Jeff Betnijah, Baseline Sports NYC. So what did you guys do so right in the first few minutes of the game? We'll go up 10-2, and what prevented you from keeping that momentum going?
Yeah, we tried to get B going early, and I thought she got off to a really good start, putting the ball into her hands, and then from there it was just really poor decisions, to be quite honest. I mean, they picked up their intensity. I think we got relaxed that it was, this is kind of easy. Got a bit of false hope there, and it was 10-2, and then that was it. And they just picked up the intensity, and we just, I was just stunned. I'm like, why are we turning it over? I don't know. We've got to make better decisions.
You mentioned after the Chicago game, you wanted games like these to be a learning experience. So what do you want the main takeaway to be from tonight's game? What's the one lesson you want to take from tonight's game? And what was your message to the team moving forward in the locker room as you embark on a week off heading into a road trip?
Yeah, I don't think we can learn a lot, but I don't know, turnovers, they're better basketball players, this league. I think that it's one of those games. I really don't know why. I mean, I suppose if they think of anything, it's more about their preparation before the game, going into the game, why we lost it. They were trying to help each other, but I just think we get lost a little bit, and we're not moving well enough. And Connecticut, when they're locked in defensively, one of the toughest teams in the league with their rotations and just really blowing up a lot of plays with their physicality and athleticism. And that bothered us. So we've just got to stay together. We got to find a way. It's early days, we got to take pride in what we're doing and be better. And if it's not the next game, we got to stay persistent. We got to stay resilient, because we got to handle this adversity that we're in right now. And the only way you do it is together.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
We'll take one last question for Coach.
Joanna left the Sun 16 points. What did you tell the team about guarding her? How difficult was that?
I coached Joanna for a long, long time, and she's very, very dangerous with her size. A 3-man at 6'4". And it's a handful. We got so many players that can put the ball in the hole. Just had to play in her space a little bit, make sure we force her into congestion and not give her anything open. But great players, always make great plays. And she's a bit of a thorn in my side tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll have Betnijah Laney, who else? Steph Dolson.
In the half court, the team was able in the half court, the team was able to hold Connecticut, who are one of the most physical and efficient teams in the league, to under 40% shooting. So while that ignores the 32 points in transition, what good can you extract from tonight's execution in the half court?
Just that. I mean, I think we actually did have pretty good half court defense. In general, we just kind of killed ourselves with the turnovers. And I mean, they had 44 points. I've never seen that in my 9 years of playing basketball. So we really just did it to ourselves. But yeah, I think the positive is that in the half court defense, we actually did well.
Thank you. And Betnijah, you came out in that third quarter and immediately attacked the rim and finished with the reverse. And late in the first half, Michaela and Steph were both able to drive past some of those hard closeouts to get layups at the rim. With Connecticut's aggressive defense on the perimeter, was that the game plan to try and counter?
I think we just had to do something different, with them being aggressive. The first half, we allowed that to kind of get us out of what we wanted to do. It sped us up. So that was definitely something that we spoke about. And that was that they're going to be aggressive, then, we just got to go by them. And I think that showed. So we did make some adjustments, but it just wasn't enough.
Joanna Jiggins, Basement Sports NYC. Thank you for being here. Betnijah, my first question is for you. What did you guys do so well over the first few minutes of the game, taking an 8-point lead? And what did Connecticut just that made things so difficult? What did Connecticut do just that made things so difficult?
I think we just came out, we took advantage of what they were giving us and we stayed aggressive, and then they adjusted to that. They came out and were more aggressive, and that was on us, starting with me, turning the ball over. And after that, I think it just took too long to try and adjust back to have things go our way.
Appreciate your time. It's both of you.
Betnijah, Steph, the first one is for both of you. Obviously, post-game, you guys were in the locker room for a long time. Take me through, if you could, what was the tenor of the conversation, and both of you as leaders on this team, what you were sharing with the teammates.
Just about being better, all the little things, all the things that we need to do to be better, because that's not who we want to be. We don't want to come out and be like that, because that was embarrassing. And just trying to figure out what we know now, we talked about it, the things that we need to do, both on and off the court, to make sure that we don't look like that again.
And Steph, beyond that, even just you're a year removed from a team that started 2-7 and won it all. Is that something that motivates you or helps you think about the way in which this team can grow? And you just lived through that in Chicago last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. I don't think any of us can kind of dwell. It's just about learning each other, ourselves, learning the game, and just getting better. I mean, it's a lot of things can happen still. We're only 5 games in. It's like there's so many games left, and we're a lot of new pieces here. So that's all I can take away from my season from Chicago, is that anything can happen. And, it's a process. We just got to learn how to play together.
Hi guys, Brian Florence from Miss Daily. You guys just came off a 4-game, 7-day stretch. Now you guys have a good week off, three back on the road. Are there, I guess, through the first 5 games, are there any sort of like big takeaways that you're going to take in as you guys head into your break?
Just the things that I feel like, we kind of held us back in those first few games, and whether it be the turnovers, rebounding, boxing out, just making sure that we're going into this week knowing those things and doing all that we can to change the verdict. Just taking care of the ball, boxing out, getting the possessions that we deserve, because when we execute it, but that comes with taking care of the ball. So just going into this week, we'll regroup. We talked about the things that we need to be better at, and that'll be our main focus going into practice and everything this week. And then we're able to rest and recover. And so, that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you.
Steph, how does this game compare to the last time you played Connecticut? I think you had more points this game versus last time, but overall drastically different.
Me personally, or team-wise? Both. I mean, we lost. I don't know. It's obviously drastically different. I think they came out with a fire. Actually, they didn't come out in the fire, but then they stepped it up. And then we just kind of retreated, which isn't what we want as a team. We want to be better. We have to learn how to fix our mistakes quickly, learn on the fly. I think in the first game, we had a lot more just toughness. We weren't making a lot of shots, but we were just playing really hard. And we fought through a lot of difficulties in that game. I think this game, it's hard coming off a few losses, and going into this game, I think we conceded to a lot of things that we should have fought through rather. But, we're a young team, I think that's where B and I have to step up as the older guys, and kind of bringing them along and showing them how we can get better.
Alexa. Alexa, do you have a question? You have to unmute.
Alexa on mute.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, were you talking to me? It was hard to hear.
Oh,
Um,
can you hear us?
yeah, I can hear you now. I just couldn't hear if you're talking to me. Betnijah, I wanted to follow up on what you were saying about needing to do the little things better. What do those little things look like? You said on and off the court as well. So what on both ends of that?
Some of the things I spoke about were turnovers, boxing out, just being more aggressive, you know, on both ends, us coming together and figuring out, you know, off the court, just making sure, you know, that we're talking to each other, that we're trying to help each other grow, you know, in just whatever areas we can.
Jackie.
Yeah, for both of you, as leaders on this team, what do you personally need to do for the team this week in order to create success moving forward?
Act on the things that we've been saying. I think we've done a lot of talking, but some leaders show by their actions. And I think that's something that the two of us could both do. I don't know about B, I'm not gonna speak for her, but for me at least, I think we've talked a lot. So I'm just gonna kind of show it in the practices, you know, show that I'm willing to change or I'm willing to do certain things differently to be better and to make the team better. So.
What she said.
Thank you both. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll send the recording shortly.